I'm just about to start my workout for today. You can see I am using my Oogie ball today, but if you don't have a ball, don't worry because I will be providing modifications. I am also using a light set of dumbbells. So if you have a light set of dumbbells, go ahead and grab them. We are using them today, but if you don't have dumbbells, look for household items that will work. So for example, you could grab a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles. You can fill them with water, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can make them heavier by filling them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans, for example. So get creative and use what you've got. You can even just grab a couple of cans of soup from the pantry. That would be absolutely fine. As long as you are able to maintain a secure grip on your weight, you're not going to drop it and injure yourself or break anything or make a mess. And as long as your weight is not too heavy for you, then any number of household items will work. So other than a ball and a light set of weights, the only other thing you'll need is an exercise mat or a yoga mat. If you don't have a mat, that's fine. You can just use a towel. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. But if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, that would be ideal because you will be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, you can use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So we are starting with a little combo. This workout should not take very long. I really think that we should be able to complete this pretty easily in under 30 minutes. So it should be on the shorter side. It's just kind of a little bonus workout at the end of the week. I don't usually share a workout on Saturdays, but we're just kind of getting back into things this week after I took a couple of weeks off from posting new workout videos. And this whole week, Monday through Friday, we have been doing all no impact workouts, and they've all been body weight workouts. But next week, I am going to start sharing more high intensity workouts. They're going to be more difficult, they're going to be longer for the most part, and we're going to be lifting weights. So I wanted to kind of ease us back into that as well. So we're just picking up a light set of weights today. My dumbbells for reference only are 5 pounds a piece. So this is a good weight for me. This feels light to me. You may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. That's going to depend on your strength and on your level of fitness. It's also going to depend on what you have available to you today and how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. But you need to make sure that whatever you choose for weight feels light to you when you pick it up. So if you have a set of dumbbells, but they don't feel especially light to you when you pick them up, please don't use them for this workout. Use household items instead. Shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight will be perfect. But I do not want you doing this workout with heavy weights. It's really important that whatever you choose for weight feels light to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're starting with a combo. Everything is 2s and 20s, okay? So it's easy to remember. We're starting with a combo. We're doing 20 sets of our combo, and then we're finishing our circuit with 3 exercises where we're going to be using the Oogie ball. If you have one, if you don't have one, it's fine. You can very easily do the same exercises without the ball, so don't go anywhere. We'll go over the equipment-free modifications for that, but we're going to be doing 20 reps of each of those 3 exercises, and then we're just gonna do 2 rounds. So it should go pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and go over our little combo first. So we are doing an around the world squat, a tricep press, and then 2 oblique knee twists while holding on to our light set of dumbbells. So let's start by going over the proper form for your squat. You want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets so that your shoulders are back and down and your chest stays lifted nice and high. Don't lose that posture. Keep that chest lifted nice and high. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Tighten up your abs. So if you imagine that someone is about to come along and punch you in the stomach as hard as they can, think about how you would brace yourself for that impact, and that's how engaged your abs should be. Now you're going to push your booty back So don't think of your squat as going straight down, because if you do that, your knees are gonna tend to end up out over your toes. That's not the movement. Instead, if you have a visualization of trying to, that was a weird way to word that. If you visualize trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, that is going to help you keep your back flat, because remember, our chest is lifted nice and high. So try to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, try to touch the wall in front of you with your chest, so that you're elongating your spine and your back is staying nice and flat. And this is also going to help you keep your weight in your heels. You should actually be able to pick up your toes. And from this position, you can sink down into your squat. Then you're going to press your heels into the ground to stand. So again, you want to visualize actually pressing the ground away from you with your heels to come back up to your standing position. That is going to help you really activate all of the muscles in your feet, your legs, your glutes, your feet, your legs, your gluteus maximuses, all the way up through your core, okay? So actively press the ground away with your heels. Really push your heels into the ground to stand. All right, so shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Pushing that booty back, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels as you sink down into the squat, and then press your heels into the ground to stand. So we're going to be adding an around the world with our dumbbells. So we're just going to be drawing a big circle with the dumbbells, okay? So you're going to start by holding your dumbbells up overhead. I am starting with my feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, because that's what's comfortable for me. You can do your squat with a wide stance or a more narrow stance, whatever's comfortable for you. It really doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter if your toes are facing straight forward or if you want to angle them out slightly, all right? It makes the exercise hit a little bit different, but either one is fine. Neither of those options is incorrect, so whatever feels comfortable for you is fine. So you're going to start by sinking down into your squat. As you sink down into your squat, you're going to bring the weights down with you and tap them together in the middle, all right? And then you're going to press your heels into the ground, come back up to stand. So make sure as you're tapping the weights together that the movement is under control and you're not banging the weights together. You just want to tap them together lightly. So make sure you're really controlling every aspect of the movement. Then we're going to add our tricep overhead press. So to do that, you're going to hold your weights together. We're going to end up in this position. So my weights are up overhead, my arms are extended up overhead. And I'm going to bend my elbows and let the weights fall down behind my head like this. Now I'm going to really engage my tricep muscles to straighten my elbows and bring the weights back up overhead. So the important thing with this exercise is that from your shoulders, both sides, from your shoulders to your elbows should stay perfectly stationary the whole time. So if you imagine that your elbows are glued to the sides of your head, like glued to like your temples, and then keep them there so that so if you watch my arms from my shoulders to my elbows, what you don't want is you don't want your elbows to go back behind your head with the weights. And you don't want your elbows to come in front of you as you lift the weights back up. Elbows stay glued to the sides of your head, glued to your temples, okay? As you bend your elbows and lower the weights behind you, from my shoulders to my elbows are staying stationary. They're not going back and they're not coming forward when I lift up the weights. You're just hinging at the elbows, okay? So that's our tricep overhead press. And then from here, you're going to do 2 oblique knee crunches. So you're just going to lift up one leg at a time, bend the knee, and you're going to twist your body thoracically and bring the opposite elbow towards the knee, okay? So lift the knee, bring the opposite elbow towards that same knee, then repeat that on the other side. So lifting the other knee, twisting your body thoracically, and bringing opposite elbow to knee, all right? While you're holding onto the weights. That's one set. We're going to do 20 sets to start each round. All right, so let's put it all together. you're holding your weights together like this, and you're starting with the weights up overhead. So my palms are facing each other as I'm holding the weights up overhead, because we're going to do our around the world, and then you want to end up in the correct position for your tricep overhead press, okay? So palms are facing each other. I'm holding the weights up overhead. I'm going to sink down into my squat. As I sink down into the squat, the weights come down. I'm going to tap them together in front of me. And now I'm going to stand and bring the weights back together, returning to my starting position. Tricep overhead press. So bending the elbows and letting the weight come down behind my head. Straighten the elbows. And now the two oblique knee crunches. So picking up one knee at a time and twisting thoracically, bringing the opposite elbow towards the knee. All right? Around the world squat, tricep overhead press, oblique knee tuck, other side. All right, that's our little combo. Next we have 3 exercises. I'm going to be using my Oogie ball, but you don't need one. So let's go over those, and I'll go over your equipment-free modifications, and then we can go ahead and get into the workout. So if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, this is where you're going to need that. If not, hopefully a towel should be sufficient. But we are going to start with a skull crusher plus a toe touch. So I will show you the exercise first without a ball, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. So if you do have a medicine ball or something similar to my Oogie ball, and you want to increase the difficulty, you can do it the way I'm doing it. But if you don't have a ball, here is your equipment-free substitution. You will still be using equipment. If you don't have dumbbells, you'll be holding on to shampoo bottles or water bottles or whatever you're using for weight. But here is what you can do if you do not have any actual exercise equipment. So we're doing skull crushers, so that means we're going to be working triceps again. So a lot of these movements that we're doing with these 3 exercises are going to mimic the movements that we did in the combo. All right. So we're starting with skull crushers. So it's going to be very similar to our tricep overhead extension. Just going to start on your back. You can extend your legs and now lift your legs straight up. It's okay if you have a slight bend to your knee. It's also okay if you lock your knees out and have your legs completely straight-ish, okay? Whatever's comfortable for you. But don't worry if your legs are completely straight and you're locking out your knees in this position for this exercise. It's fine, you're not gonna hurt yourself. And don't worry if your knees are bent, either because you lack flexibility or that's just more comfortable for you, okay? But you want your legs more or less straight. And they're gonna stay here for the entire duration of this exercise. Now again, I have my weights together like this. So I'm going to have my arms up overhead, and I'm going to start with a skull crusher. So it's the same movement where you're just hinging at your elbows, and you're going to bring the weights down, tap them down right behind your head, and then you're going to straighten the elbows and bring the weights back up overhead, okay? So bend the elbows, straighten the elbows. Let the weights come down behind your head, and then lift them up overhead. And then from here, we're gonna do a toe touch. So you're going to sit up and bring the weights up towards your toes, all right? That's it. That's the entire exercise. So skull crusher and toe touch. Bend the elbows and sit up. All right, that's the entire exercise. Now, if you want to increase the difficulty and you don't have a ball, but you do have like ankle weights, you could strap weights to your ankles. That would be fine. I'm going to be doing that while holding on to my pink Oogie ball. I'm going to squeeze the ball in between my ankles. So the pink ball weighs 8 pounds. So this brand, this Oogie ball, it's kind of a hybrid between a medicine ball and like a balance ball, or one of those bigger exercise balls, a Swiss ball, whatever you call it. So I'm going to be using it. There's different colors, and each color is a different weight. I think, if I remember correctly, I think the smallest one is 6 pounds, and I think they go up to 8 pounds, or 12 pounds maybe, but this pink one is 8 pounds. So again, that's a good weight for me. That'll be plenty challenging for 20 reps of this exercise. I will be in tears. So if you have something similar, like a medicine ball, similar to that weight, that might work, as long as you can safely squeeze the ball in between your ankles and you can have a secure grip on it so it won't fall. But the thing about this ball is that if it does fall, if I lose my grip and the Oogie ball does fall, it's very soft, so I will not get injured. So please use your common sense and be safe. If you're going to add weight to this exercise, if you're going to add weight to your legs for this exercise, either by squeezing a ball in between your ankles or strapping on ankle weights, that's great. That's what I'm doing. But please just be safe. Obviously, I don't want you trying to squeeze like a dumbbell or a kettlebell between your legs, because if you drop it, if you lose your grip, it is going to hurt or it's going to break something. I do not want anyone injuring themselves. So please, again, just use your common sense and be safe. But if you have a medicine ball that you can safely and securely squeeze between your ankles, go ahead and get that ready. That's what I'm going to be doing. And if you have ankle weights, that will work as well. All right, so I have my Oogie ball here. I'm just going to squeeze the ball together between my ankles. I'm going to lift my legs, and that's it. I'm gonna stay here the entire time, really engaging these muscles in your inner thigh, because I'm having to actively squeeze the ball together with my legs the whole time I'm in this position. So from there, the exercise is the same. My weights are all the way over here, but I'm gonna do my skull crusher, and then I'm gonna do my toe touch. I'll actually just probably touch the Oogie ball, but skull crusher, and Oogie ball touch, I guess you can call it. All right, so that's how I'm going to do the exercise here. I'll do a couple reps with the weights, just so you can see what it's actually going to look like. So it's going to require a little coordination to actually get started, but once I've got the ball up there where I want it, here we go. Skull crusher, and sit up. It's a little crunch, bringing the weights up to tap the ball. All right? So that is the first exercise with and without a ball. So for that first exercise, I was using my Oogie ball as a weight. For this next exercise, I'm using the ball as an uneven surface. Okay, so if you have a balance ball or one of those large, Swiss balls or exercise balls that you can sit on, that will work great for this. We're going to be sitting on the ball. So the point is that it's an unstable surface, and as you move around, you're going to have to fight to maintain your balance on the ball. That's going to be causing all of those little stabilizer muscles in your core to be firing like crazy. So we're working our core with this exercise. We're also working our upper body a little bit. We're doing Arnold presses. Obviously our weights are very light, so this isn't going to be especially strenuous for our upper body, but we are working upper body a little bit. We're going to do an Arnold press, and then we're going to do 2 marches with an oblique twist. So again, I said we're going to be kind of mimicking some of those exercises that we did in our little combo. So this is very similar to those oblique knee lifts, oblique knee twists that we did in the combo. All right, so we are going to start with the weights together like this. All right, so my palms are facing me. The backs of my hands are facing you. And I'm holding my weights together in front of me like this. They're touching, all right? I'm going to now bring the weights to my side like this, like a couple of goalposts, and then I'm going to do an overhead press. So I'm going to just straighten my arms and press the weights up overhead. Now I'm going to bend my elbows and bring the weights back down to my shoulders, and then return to my starting position. So I'm bringing the weights back around to tap together in the middle. Again, controlling the movement so I'm not banging the weights together. They should just lightly tap. So here I'm looking at my palms. The backs of my hands are facing you. In this position, my palms are facing you. As I press the weights up overhead and bring them back down to my shoulders. And as I return to my starting position, I'm squeezing the weights together again in front of my chest. Now from this position, we're going to lift one knee at a time. And as I do that, I'm just going to twist my body thoracically and bring opposite elbow to knee. Okay? So it's like a little march. You really want to feel your entire core engaged as you do your march, and then add that little twist to work the obliques a little bit. Okay, so Arnold press, 2 marches, 1 on each side. So lift the knee and twist, lift the knee and twist. Arnold press, bring the weights to the shoulders, press them up overhead, back to the shoulders, squeeze them together in front of you. And now 2 marches, 1 on each side. So lift one knee, twist the body thoracically, bringing opposite elbow to knee. Arnold press. March and twist, march and twist. All right, so if you do not have a ball, you can do this on like a plyo box or a chair or piano bench or something like that if you want, but you really can just do it from a seated position as well. That would be totally fine. So you can just come down to your mat in a seated position like this, weights together in front of you. Arnold press, squeeze the weights together, and now lift, one knee at a time. Twisting your body thoracically, meeting that knee with the opposite elbow. Arnold press, lift the knee and twist, lift the knee and twist. You could also do it from a standing position. That would be totally fine as well. So you can just stand, bring the weights up in front of you, bring them around to your shoulders, press them up overhead, back down to the shoulders, squeeze the weights in front of you, and then do essentially the same exact move we did in our first combo because we're doing this from a standing position. Arnold press, oblique knee crunch, oblique knee crunch. That would be fine as well, okay? So you can do it on a ball, you can do it on a chair, you can do it on your mat, or you can do it from standing. The final exercise is ball choppers. So it's basically just a sit up with an oblique twist. So working our obliques again. And I'm just going to come down onto my ball, and I'm going to start with my arms overhead. Then I'm going to sit up and twist. So if you don't want to add weights to this, you can do this one without holding on to any added weights, and it'll look just like this. Sit up and twist. Sit up and twist. You could also put your little wrist ankle weights on your wrist for this exercise if you want. That would be fine, but you don't need to add any weight. I'm going to be doing that while holding on to both of my dumbbells. These are really light, so it's not going to be too much weight. This is only 10 pounds of added weight. If holding on to both of your dumbbells or both of your shampoo bottles or water bottles is too heavy, you can just hold on to one, and you can do the exercise like this. All right, so you're just doing a sit up, and then you're twisting your body thoracically, bringing the weight to your side, alternating sides with each rep. If you want to increase the difficulty a little more, and it's not too heavy for you to hold both of your weights together like this, then you can do the exercise holding on to both of your weights. Same exercise. So just sit up and twist to one side, bringing the weight with you. It's like a Russian twist. All right, so that'll work on a ball, a smaller ball like this, or a larger ball, those larger exercise balls. So if you have an exercise ball, any type of exercise ball, and you want to do the exercise that way, you can. If you don't have a ball, or you just don't want to do this exercise on your ball, then you can really just do the exact same thing on your mat, okay? So come down onto your mat, all the way on your back, knees are bent, your feet are flat on the mat, extend your arms up overhead, sit up, and twist. Add a little Russian twist. So twisting your body thoracically, if you can tap the mat, great, do it. If you can't, that's fine, but that's what you're going towards. Think about twisting and tapping that mat. Explore your full range of motion, but work to your own level. So if your range of motion does not allow you to bring your hand all the way down and tap the mat, that's fine. Just make sure that you're really working your obliques with that twist. So again, you can do this without any added weight like I just showed you. You can strap weights to your wrists. You can do it with one weight. Sit up, twist and tap. Return to your starting position, extending your arms up overhead. Sit up, twist and tap. Alternating sides for the twist with each rep, all right? You can also hold on to two weights as long as it's not too heavy for you. Again, it depends on your strength and your level of fitness. It also depends on how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So make the decision that is best for you. But that is our third and final exercise. All right, so that's all of the exercises. Now here's the format. I already kind of explained it, but let's just clarify. So we are starting with our combo. That's our around the world squat, tricep overhead press, plus our 2 oblique knee crunches. That's one set. We're doing 20 sets of the combo. And then we will move on to our 3 exercises with the Oogie ball. So the first exercise is our skull crusher with a toe touch. We'll do 20 reps of that exercise. Then we'll move on to our second exercise with the Oogie ball. That is our Arnold press plus our 2 marches with an oblique twist seated on the ball. So we'll do 20 reps of that exercise, and then we will finish with 20 reps of ball choppers. That's one round. We're just gonna do 2 rounds. We're gonna go through the entire thing twice, and like I said, it should hopefully take less than 30 minutes. We'll see, but that's what I'm going for. Just remember, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, to please go at your own pace and mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. If you're faster than I am, that's great, as long as you're not losing anything off of your form. You can always skip ahead of the video if you get too far ahead of me. But if you're slower than I am, that's absolutely fine. You're out here doing the work, so just go at your own pace. If you fall behind, you can pause the video and just resume the video when you have caught up or when you're ready to start again. If you need to pause and rest, you pause and rest. And when you're ready, just press play, come back, and pick up where you left off, okay? You want to challenge yourself to rest as little as possible, especially because, like I said, this is going to be a relatively short workout, but rest as long as you need, okay? You should only resume the workout when you feel that you have regained enough strength and that you have enough stamina that you can continue with good form. Make sure that you are not sacrificing your form for speed. And also please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. So I'm going to do the entire workout with you. You can watch me do it or read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if there are any questions about the format and how it all fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do them with the correct form, please just ask, because it is really important that you understand the movement and that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. It's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. I'm always here to help facilitate that. So if you need any further help with beginner modifications, or if you need to see equipment-free substitutions, if you really just don't want to add any weight to your workout, even if it's just something super light like a couple of cans of soup, just ask, okay? Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help, and I will always do my best to find a modification that will work for you and make sure that the workout is accessible to you no matter your fitness level. All right, hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, go ahead and grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, a towel should suffice. Grab a medicine ball or an exercise ball if you have one, or maybe a chair if you're planning on using a chair. Grab a light set of dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, look for household items that will work. So you can grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight, maybe even a couple of cans of soup from the pantry. Take a couple of minutes to make sure that you are good and warmed up, and when you're ready, let's get started. All right, so as soon as you're ready, here we go. We are starting with 20 sets of our combo. My timer is set as a stopwatch. I'm going to get my watch going first, and I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So pick up the dumbbells, you're going to hold them together above your head, and now as you sink down into your squat, you're going to bring them down to touch at the bottom. Now bring the weights together again for your tricep overhead press, and now our 2 oblique knee crunches, 1 on each side. So around the world squat, tricep overhead press, 2 oblique knee crunches, 1 on each side. That's 2 sets. Around the world squat, tricep overhead press, knee crunch, knee crunch. That's 3, we're going to 20. So do your best. I'm pretty sure that was 20. I don't like to count out loud if I can help it, because if you're working out with me, like if you're doing your workout along with the video, unless you're going at my exact pace, I feel like I'm going to throw you off if I count out loud. So I try to just keep it to myself, but when I count out loud and I can actually hear the number out loud. It makes it so much easier for me to keep track of my reps. And when I don't count out loud, I feel like my mind always wanders and makes it really easy to lose track of what rep I'm on. So I'm doing my best to zip it and not mess you up by counting different numbers than what you're on. All right, the sun is gonna be right in my eyes for this. I know. I'll turn around this way. All right. So this is our skull crusher plus toe touch, or for me, it's gonna be like a ball touch. So, squeezing my ball together in between my ankles. This is always challenging to do when I'm wearing pants because the ball tends to slide. All right, holding my weights together, starting with a skull crusher, and then a crunch, bringing the weights up to tap the Urki ball. I wonder if I should just pull up my pants for this. Okay. Oh yeah. Much better. Okay. Should have worn shorts. Didn't wear shorts. All right. Okay. Come on. This is ridiculous. It's taking 20 minutes to just get set up for this. All right. So, skull crusher, crunch, bringing the weights up to tap the ball. That's 1, 2, skull crusher, crunch. That's 3. We're going to 20. Do your best. Ow. I swear I have the weakest abs on the planet. For someone who works out regularly, my abs are astonishingly weak. All right. So next is our Arnold press. Plus our 2 marches, adding in that oblique twist. So, sitting on the ball, starting with the weights in front of you, bringing the weights around your shoulders, press them up overhead, squeeze them together in front, and now march, march. So Arnold press, and now 2 marches, twisting your body thoracically, and bringing the opposite elbow to meet the knee. That's 3, we're going to 20. So do your best. 20. Third and final exercise with the ball. Remember, if you don't have a ball or it's just too difficult with the ball, you have your equipment-free modifications. So next is ball choppers, but you can easily just do a regular weighted sit-up without the ball and then just add your Russian twist. So I'm scooching down so that my lower back is on the ball. I'm going to extend my arms overhead. And now sit up and twist, bringing the weights to one side and now the other side. We're alternating sides with each rep, so that's 2 reps. Sit up and twist, sit up, twist to the other side. So that's 4, 5, we're going to 20. Do your best. All right, that's round 1. I'm more or less where I kind of thought I would be. I think I can pick up the pace a little bit for round 2. Because I won't feel obligated to kind of talk you through the exercises quite as much now that we've already done everything once. And hopefully I can struggle a little less with my Oogie ball on those skull crushers. The skull crusher with the leg or crunch, toe touch, ball touch, whatever you want to call it. All right, so just 1 more round to go. We're just doing 2 rounds, so we should finish in well under 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and start round 2. Weights up overhead. Around the world squat. Tricep overhead press. And 2 oblique knee crunches. That's 1. Doing 20 sets, just like that. I think that's 10 for me. So we're halfway there, just 10 more. Keep pushing. So now we're just gonna finish up. With our 3 Oogie Ball exercises. 20 reps into each. Starting with our skull crusher plus a toe touch. Squeeze the ball. One, 2 weights is getting too heavy, drop 1. Just for not having to struggle for 20 minutes trying to squeeze my ball together in between my ankles with these long pants on, where they're just sliding against the fabric. Like, no matter how hard I squeeze, sometimes the ball will just slide. But if I hold it so it's right up against my skin, it gives me better, what's that called? Traction? What is the word I'm looking for? All right. Arnold press. March, march. 20 reps. That's 2. Sit up nice and tall on your ball. I'm a poet and I don't know it. 4. Your entire core should be on fire. Was that 5 or 6? I don't know. I'll call it 6. That's what happens when I chit chat. 7. Completely lose track of my count. I'm calling this 8. I know it might be 9, but I'm calling it 8 just to make sure that I don't short myself. So I'll say this is 10. That means I'm halfway done. Just 10 more reps. Let's keep pushing. I think that was 16, let's do 4 more. So as I'm sitting in this position, we call that 17, 3 more. There is hardly any weight, almost really no weight at all in my feet. They're really just kind of resting on the ground. I think that might be 20, but I'm gonna do 1 more just to make sure. Let's do a couple more just because it's the second time I lost track. This way I know I did at least 20. But I just want to illustrate that I really can pick up my feet, okay? They're on the ground, but they're just barely touching the ground. I'm not putting weight in them, so you don't want to be leaning forward. You want to be sitting up straight and using, the whole purpose of doing this on the ball is that you're using this unstable surface to force yourself to fight for that balance so that you're working your entire core, all right? Last 20 reps. Well, we have 1 rep to go after this, so 21 reps, but last 20 reps on the ball. And then we just have to do our bonus burpee and we're all done. All right, so find a position where you're comfortable with that low back pressed into the ball. Extend the arms up overhead, sit up and twist. Other side. I think that's 20. I'm gonna do a few more. Two more. Last one. So even with those extra reps, I finished in just over 23 minutes. So that's right around where I kind of thought I would be. The reason I did those additional reps of the ball choppers is because a few of them were just really sloppy. And I also wasn't 100% sure that I didn't lose track of my reps. So I think I did 26 reps, but at least that way I know I did at least 20 good quality reps. As soon as I get that thought in my head that there's even a slim possibility that I might have lost track of my count and missed even 1 rep, I'm not gonna be able to get rid of that thought or let go of it until I scratch that itch on my brain by doing a few extra reps just to make sure. I would rather know that there's a possibility that I may have done a few extra reps than to spend the rest of the day wondering if I didn't do enough reps. So anyway, I think we definitely did a few extra reps today, but even with that, my score is 23 minutes and 18 seconds. So that was a nice little workout and came in just over 23 minutes. So happy about that. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. So let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete when you're ready. Here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. I actually thought this was a really fun little workout. I actually worked up a little bit of a sweat and everything. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did this workout with me today, thank you very much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format, If you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I am right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, my wife has an inner ear infection. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, my wife has an inner ear infection. That is going to do it for today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Have a beautiful Sunday, and I will see you all right back here on Monday. Bye.